Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That's going to be the red R towards the bottom right. Give us a like, leave us a comment, let us know what you guys think about these videos. So today guys, we're going to be doing some test printing on our Ri1000X. We're going to be using a black 100% cotton shirt that has been pre-treated. Now we got these shirts from Sandmark. Thank you to them for giving us these shirts so we can test on. So we're going to do a white underbase guys. We're going to see what looks best, and then we're also going to do our color to get a nice print and some nice print settings for this type of shirt. Now, before we get started, guys, we're going to do our daily routine, which is going to be taking out the white ink, and we're going to give it a good shake. Now, your machine will tell you every morning, take this out, and you want to shake them for 50 seconds. There'll be a countdown on the screen. Once we're done, we're going to go ahead and put this back in. I already shook mine this morning, so I'm just going to put those back in there. Next, we're going to go ahead and level up our table. We want to make sure our table has an optimal distance between the table and the printhead to get a good print quality. At the bottom of the table here, there's a little crank lever. I'll show you guys right here what that looks like. Just going to go ahead and turn that a couple of times. And then once all the way up there, we're going to go ahead and press set on our display. Once the table is all the way in, we're going to go ahead to our nozzle check option, which will be under our maintenance menu. We're going to select nozzle check and yes. And once we get that nozzle check to print, we're going to check the whites. If everything looks good, we're going to go ahead and start printing. If we're missing 1 or 2 little grids, it should be okay, guys. Just continue printing. If you are missing more than 5 grids, start doing some regular cleans, maybe some strong cleans. All right. And mine looks pretty good, as you guys can see from the little display right here. So I'm going to start printing. I'm going to go ahead and get my shirt, take it over to my heat press. I'm going to press it for 10 seconds at 325 to 330 degrees. Now, the reason I'm doing this, I want to remove some of the moisture that the shirt might have. I also want to bring down some of those fibers so I get a nice flat surface to print on, which will give me a better quality print. Alrighty guys, so here's my heat press, here's my shirt. I'm going to go ahead and place it on my heat press. Now, in the past, guys, you guys have seen me spray some water on these shirts. We're not going to do that today because we're printing on Ri1000X and not Ri4000. Again, guys, this shirt is pre-treated, so I'm just going to lay it on there. I'm going to get my parchment paper, and I'm going to go ahead and press this. Now, I'm pressing it again. Guys, 10 seconds, 325, 330 degrees, and I'm doing this to remove any moisture that the shirt might have. I'm also going to iron it, any wrinkles out of it, and I'm going to make sure those fibers are pressed down so I get a nice quality print. Now, if you guys have a G09K20 like I do, to release it, you're just going to go ahead and just you're going to twist this lever, and that's going to release it. All right, so let's go ahead and take this shirt over to the printer and get that ready to print. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and bring an image into color gates. I'm going to use my drop down here. I'm going to select my Ri1000 folder here, and I'm going to select an image. Now this image is a little big. You guys can see here the width is 83 inches. So I'm going to just bring that down to 10 inches. We don't want to print this too big. And we're going to go ahead to our archives here. We're going to select our file by clicking twice on the left mouse key, and we're going to apply some settings. First of all, we're going to do our cost calculation, and then we're going to go to a printer. We're going to use the medium plan. If you're printing on the larger plan, you guys can do the drop down and select the plan. Here are the sizes for it. To my job, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to press this center and on the very top of the printing area. Next, I'm going to go to my color. I'm going to select the black garment. I'm going to leave it at 16 pass. I am going to go to my advanced settings. So for the print mode, guys, we're going to just keep this at 0. And then we're going to do the choke here. We're going to do a -3. Once we do this first print, we'll adjust that minimum to give us a thicker or a more filled in white underbase. But first, we'll do this as standard settings so that way we can see how it prints and how we can correct it. On our color correction here, we're going to leave this as well standard 0, 0, and 1. We'll adjust this after the first print just so you guys can see how these react or how these make the image change. Okay, so we'll do that okay there. Now, we want to print the white background, so I'm not going to use document transparency, but if your file is a PNG with a transparent background, if you select the option here that says use document transparency, you will remove that background, okay? But right now, we're going to leave it on there because I want to see how the white prints in case we need to add a more ink for the white underbase. All right, so here's our file. I'm gonna go ahead and send this over to the printer to print. There's two ways of doing it. We can right click on it and go to print, or we can drag it over to the print queue. Right now what it's doing, it's saving our settings, and then it's gonna go to the print queue. Once it's there, it's gonna start sending this file over to the printer. So while that's being sent, let's go ahead and walk over to the printer and get our shirt ready. All right, guys, so I got my shirt ready. I'm gonna go ahead and place it on my platen or my printing surface here. Gonna make sure the color of the shirt is right to the edge of my table. Gonna make sure I got the same amount of fabric on both sides. I'm gonna add my hoop so it doesn't shift during printing. I'm gonna tuck the rest of the shirt underneath the table. On the screen itself, I'm gonna select my shirt icon, and then I'm gonna press set. Now you guys can see we got the same message we got earlier that the table is too high. So again, I'm gonna lower this down. So that little pink square turns white. So there it is. And I'm gonna press set again. Now once the shirt goes all the way in, it's gonna start printing. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the lid of my printer so you guys can see how the white ink is being laid down. So there's my white underbase, guys. As you can see, it looks pretty solid. There's a couple of fibers here and there, but overall it looks pretty good. On the next print, we'll do some adjustments on the white underbase to make that look more filled in. As you guys can see here, it's starting to print my color. Once that's done, I'll zoom in a little more so you guys can see how it printed. Now guys, it's always a good idea to have a graphic like I have here, a print file. So that way, when you're doing test printing, you can see how much white ink you're going to put down, how much contrast. And having one file that you constantly work with will help you guys out. Because then that way you guys will memorize, how it should come out, how it looks good. And you guys can see how much you can adjust, like how much white underbase, contrast if you need to. Now, if you're going to do any color corrections, like change the colors, I recommend doing it on Photoshop, Illustrator, Canva, some kind of program like that. You can do a few adjustments using the color correction curves, but I find it's a lot easier just to have a color splotch or color file saved in Photoshop or Illustrator, so that way you guys can recall those colors and get a nice quality print time after time. Yeah. So you guys can see here, it looks pretty good. A little bit of the black's coming through some fibers, but that's to be expected. We are printing with a water-based ink. It's not a plastisol like a screen print, so it is going to be a lighter amount of ink. But overall, this looks really good. You guys can see the colors here. Those look pretty filled in. So we're just going to adjust a little bit of the white underbase. We're going to leave the colors the same. And then we're going to print an image underneath this one, so you guys can see the difference between the first print and the second print with the white underbase adjusted.